Right, so in today's video, I'm going to be explaining how you can kill moss in your lawn and green it up at the same time. Now, there are a few people online who will tell you that you shouldn't be putting things on your lawn at the moment because of the fact that the grass isn't grown, but you can see quite clearly now that the grass is really starting to take shape. Granted, the growth is only minimal because this time of year it's not warm enough for it to be having like a massive growth spurt, but the grass is growing, so it is still an okay time to be putting things down on your lawn like nitrogen and iron sulfate, but you just have to be careful about how much you do apply. You can see there is a little bit of yellowing in my lawn as well, so that's another reason why I'm going to be putting this product down today. It doesn't just contain iron sulfate, it actually contains nitrogen as well, so it's got 16% iron sulfate and 4.6% nitrogen. You do have to be careful when applying stuff like this because it is a concentrate, so you have got to make sure that you get your measurements right and you don't do anything that's going to potentially damage your lawn. So in the previous video I used this Oregon knapsack spray to apply the seaweed to the lawn. Since I put the markings on the side of the knapsack spray with a Sharpie, these were already the sort of moulded lines that were on the side of it, but as you can see from the 16 up here, you can hardly even tell it's written. It says here on the bottle that you should be putting about 150 millilitres in per 10 square metres, and that's with 500 mils of water. Now I think they give you these directions because they're anticipating people using things like watering cans or smaller sprayers to apply this product to your lawn. But what I'm going to do is, because this sprayer applies a lot of water really quickly to the lawn, I'm going to put about 3 litres of water in this instead of 500 mils, and I'm going to be putting the right recommended dosage of the iron in too. Even though I'm going to be diluting the product more than it tells me to do, the same amount of product is still going to be getting onto the lawn. It's just going to mean that by putting it with a little bit more water, I'm going to be able to more evenly distribute it across the lawn. So I'm going to be going up this way first, and then I'm going to be going across it too, to make sure that I don't leave any gaps. And something to mention is make sure you're wearing footwear that you do not mind getting dirty or stained, because iron sulfate is something that will stain all hard surfaces. That means it can stain the stones here, the patio, the wood, and even your clothes. So if you are applying something like this to your lawn, just be mindful what you are wearing. Something that you do need to bear in mind too is that you should not be cutting your lawn a few days before you apply this. So you're looking at 3, 4, 5 days, even a week, you should leave it. And you should also leave it the same sort of time as well once you've applied the products. And just something to mention too, you can see that we've got another project going on in the garden. I have installed some new lawn edging, and I'm going to be putting a drainage pipe in here which is going to be taking water down to that drain as a way of tackling the flooding problem we have in the garden at the moment. So if you are interested in watching that video, it will be out next week. I'm going to fill it up on the grass because I don't want to spill any of the iron sulfate onto the patio, because that's just bad news. I'm going to be putting some water in first just to make sure that none of the concentrated product gets into the sprayer, which would be pretty bad putting the concentrate directly onto the lawn. I should probably say at this point, you want to be doing this with gloves on, because you don't want any of this to go into your skin. Now, something I will say as well is do not be walking on any of the surfaces with your shoes after you've applied this to the grass. What I'm going to do is take my shoes off just before I step off the grass, so that I don't get any of the iron sulfate onto the hard surfaces. So you might want to have some sliders or a spare pair of shoes to the side if you're doing this yourself. Alright, spaceman, fucking Ghostbuster, don't I? So, hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a like. And if you'd like to check out any of my other videos, such as my garden renovation series or any of my lawn tip videos, then you can head over to my channel. And if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. It's been really useful recently with lots of comments coming through with advice of things to do, ideas for the garden. So if you do have any advice or any ideas of things you'd like me to do over the next coming weeks, coming months, then drop it in the comments below. And finally, thanks for watching.